Hi, my name is Jay with Kick Foosball Tables. First off, I'd like to welcome you to the Kick family. Today, I'll be showing you how to properly assemble your Kick 48-inch Freedom Foosball table. I hope this instructional video was helpful. With no further delay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up your box and take a look at your contents. Then, go ahead and lay down each piece out onto your floor individually. If you are assembling your foosball table on a hard surface, I do recommend you lay down a large blanket or a large piece of cardboard. That way you don't damage your table during the assembly process. Next, go ahead and match each part to what's inside your instruction manual. After sorting out all the parts in the box and matching each part to what's inside your instruction manual, if you notice any missing or damaged parts, or if there's any issue at all, please contact Kick with pictures of the shipping label, the box itself, and the damaged part. Our contact information will be listed at the end of this video. For step 1 of this assembly, we'll be sliding our playing field P3 into the groove you see here on both side panels P1. What you want to make sure is that the ball entry hole on the side panel is closest to the floor. Go ahead and insert your playing field, making sure that the playing field is face down. Go to the side panel. For step 2 of this assembly, we'll be attaching our end panels P2 to both side panels P1 using our H1 bolt and our H3 washers. You just want to make sure that the goalie hole is closest to the floor and that the groove that you see here on your end panel is faced inwards towards the playing field. You want to make sure that your playing field slides into the groove here on the end panel and that the end panel is flush here to the back side of the side panel. You go ahead and line up your holes and insert your H1 bolt and your H3 washer. And tighten. For step 3 of this assembly, we'll be attaching our support braces P6 to the bottom of our playing field in both side panels using our H6 nut and our H5 screws. What you want to make sure is when you are inserting your H6 nut is that you align the hole on the end of your support brace with the hole on the nut. You also want to make sure that this groove that you see here faces outwards so that if the hole on the nut's not straight, you can just use your flathead screwdriver to straighten out the hole. Just go ahead and insert that into your brace. Once you've inserted all 4 of your nuts to both of your support braces, we can now attach our support braces to the bottom of our playing field in both side panels. You will notice that there are 2 small holes here on the side panel. You just want to go ahead and line up the hole in your support brace with the hole on the side panel. And insert your H5 screw. And tighten. After you have secured both of your support braces to both side panels and the playing field, we can move on to the next step, step 4, in attaching our legs P4A and P4B and our leg panels P5 using our H1 bolt and our H6 nut. Now again, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and insert 4 of the H6 nuts into both of your end panels. You want to go ahead and line up, again, the hole of the nut to the hole on the end of the leg panel and insert. You also want to make sure that the groove here is faced out. After you've inserted all 8 of your H6 nuts into both of your leg panels, we can now attach our leg, all 4 of the legs to the side panels. Now you just want to make sure that you are attaching the correct leg to the correct side panel. One way is just to make sure that you line up all 3 of your holes on your leg to all 3 of the holes on your side panel. You go ahead and insert your H1 bolt and your H3 washer. Now you do want to make sure that you do not fully tighten your bolts at this time, and I will explain the reason for that in the next frame. You just want to go ahead and just hand tighten all of your bolts. After you've attached all 4 of your legs, we can go on to the next step in attaching our leg panels between our legs. You want to make sure that the nut on the leg panel, that the hole is aligned with the hole on the end of the end panel. And the reason why I didn't have you fully tighten your bolts on your legs is so that we have some wiggle room here to line up our leg panel. You just want to go ahead and line up the holes on the leg panel to about the holes on your leg. And insert your H2 screw. And tighten. Next, we'll be attaching our leg levelers, P9, to the bottom of each leg. So we'll go ahead and screw down your leg leveler all the way down to the bottom base of your leg. Now, the purpose of these leg levelers is to stabilize your table during play, so that if one side's higher than the other, you just unscrew these a couple of notches to even out your playing field. Next, you'll be needing some assistance to turn over your table. This is a 2-person job, so what you want to make sure is that you don't rest the weight of the table on either of your legs. You just want to make sure that you turn over your table in one swift full motion so that all the legs hit the ground at the same time. After you've had some assistance turning over your table, we now move on to the next step, step 5, in inserting all of our rods and attaching each player to each rod. The most important part of assembling a foosball table is making sure that the rods and players are all in the right position. So you want to carefully review the diagram located in the instruction manual prior to inserting your rods.
Here's how to set up the rods and players on your new kick foosball table. Place 4 handles on each side of the table in this specific order. Make sure the 4 handles for your home team are in this specific order, as shown in the diagram. Also make sure your players are facing the opposing team and toward the opponent's goal, not the same team or your own goal.
Before we insert our rods and attach each player to each rod, I'm going to show you an already assembled table and explain to you the differences between a 1-man goalie versus a 3-man goalie setup. 1-man goalie versus a 3-man goalie setup. With this table, you have the option to have either a 1-man goalie or a 3-man goalie setup. Most beginners and some others prefer a 3-man goalie setup because there's more defense around the goal, making it harder to score, and giving the user more control over the field. Others prefer a more competitive, fast-paced 1-man goalie setup, but it's completely up to you. To have a 3-man goalie setup, you have 3 players on the goalie rod. You can optionally place the white field lining tape on both sides of the table to prevent any dead spots, if any at all. If you are looking for a 1-man goalie setup, instead of having the other 2 outer men on the goalie rod, you will replace them with the 4 black stop rings. Next, you will place the 4 green triangular corner ramps you received on each corner of the playing field. If you already applied the field lining tape, you can either place the ramps on top of it if you ever want to switch back to a 3-man goalie setup. But if a 1-man goalie is going to be your style of play, either cut the lining tape accordingly so it does not go under the ramp, or don't install the lining tape at all. Finally, screw the 4 ramps in using the 4 screws provided and cover using the 4 plugs. Attaching your players to your rods, you want to note that there's a bumper, a washer, then you want to add the correct amount of players per holes in the rod, and add another washer, and another bumper. You want to complete by sliding through the second hole. Next, we'll be securing our players to each rod using our C6 bolt and our C7 nut. We're going to go ahead and line up the back of the player to the hole in the rod. Insert your C7 nut into the back of the player. Turn the player around and insert your C6 bolt through the chest of the player. And tighten. Next, we'll be attaching our handles, P7, using our H7 bolt. Simply just want to go ahead and line up the hole on the handle to the hole on the end of the rod. Insert your bolt and tighten. One quick note, these handles are really high quality. Most other companies use a really cheap rubber slide-on handles. Also, these rods are semi-hollow, so they are durable enough to rough play, yet light enough to let the player have full control over the rod. If you need a rod lubricant, please contact Kick and we will send you a free complimentary bottle. Next, place rubber caps, P8, to the other end of the rod. Step 7, we'll be attaching our slide score, P9, to both ends of our end panels using our H4 screws. You will notice that there are 2 holes that have been pre-scored. You just want to go ahead and line up your score over those holes and insert your H4 screw. And tighten. Congratulations! We are now officially done assembling our Kick 48-inch Freedom foosball table. You are now free to enjoy your table with your friends and family. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please visit us at www.kickfoosballtables.com or email us at support@kickfoosballtables.com.